I'm Cipriana and welcome to Urban Bush Babes. Today on Urban Bush Babes, I'm just going to do a real quick tutorial on my dry finger detangling process. I'm actually going to do two videos on this. The next video that I'm going to do is going to be a longer process with all like the tips, the pros and cons of dry finger detangling. But this video, like I said, is going to be a very short, quick video tutorial on my dry finger detangling process. I actually wanted to do a hairstyle tutorial for you on the hairstyle that won with the contest that I had, actually the vote where you could vote and name your favorite hairstyle that I had listed and pick which one you wanted me to do a video tutorial of. But I thought I would kind of address the dry finger detangling process first, only because you can't do a damn thing with your hair if it is tangled up. You can't do any type of new hairstyle if your hair is tangled up. So I wanted to do a quick tutorial. And also, speaking of hairstyles, this is a new hairstyle I came with. I like to call it challah bread. You know, like the challah, bread, like challah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it looks like this. And it actually came up by accident. I think my hair resembles, well, the new hairstyle I came with, I think it resembles the challah bread. But I'll do a quick tutorial on that too in the future. But anyway, back to dry finger detangling. My process is very simple. And what you're going to do is you want to have your hair stretched. Usually when I'm about to detangle my hair, the night before I'll put it into bantu knots or braids. And you always want to make sure any type of braided style, any type of bantu, or any type of style that consists of you pulling or tension to your hair, you want to make sure that that tension is not too tight, because again, this can cause breakage. You can cause split ends, the split ends in the middle of your hair shaft. Exactly. And those split ends can happen anywhere along that strand. So what I'll do is I'll section my hair into bantu knots, about 10, anywhere from 10 to 16 sections. It can be ranging, just depends how many sections I want. And actually the reason why I'm doing two videos is because I want to be real with you. I just did my updo's hairstyle. I did all my detangling and everything for the week, and I have to work and I don't have time to do a whole detangling, stretching, high dry finger detangling my process with my whole head. And I want to show that to you properly, but I'm going to be real to you. This is going to be a quick tutorial on a section of hair, because you know how it can be. Everyone's got a busy life and you know how it is. So what I did is I just took a section of hair, and this is about 10 twists, 10 loose twists. I always keep my hair in about 150 loose twists, loose strand twists. So this is about 10 or maybe 8. So what I'll do is I'll take one loose strand twist. So I'll take one strand. So this is one twist. And what I'll do is I do my hair section. I do my hair twist by twist. So whenever I'm doing my hair, I don't unravel all my twists and detangle that way. I detangle, unravel one twist, and detangle that way. And also too, when you see me detangling my hair, it's going to be quite easy because I just detangled a week ago. I actually want to do the second video where I have my hair in, an updo style for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, so you can see how more difficult it is when I'm detangling my hair. So this is going to be quite easy because, as I said before, I detangled my hair a week ago. So I'm not trying to fool anybody. This is the reason why it's going to go a little bit easier in this video. So what I'll do is I'll take one twist out of that section, and then I'll pin this section up to get it out of the way. And as I said before, the reason why I put my hair in bantu knots or braids before I do my dry finger detangling process is because it makes the hair much easier to detangle. If your hair is forming in a more of a straight line pattern than curly and wavy and all interconnected and stuff, this makes it much more difficult for you to detangle your hair. It can actually cause more knots and stuff as you're detangling, because the hair can just ravel right up back on itself and cause you more headaches. So it's much easier to put your hair in some type of stretching, updo some type of stretching hairstyle the day before you're planning to detangle, because this can make it easier for you to detangle your hair. So what I'll do is I'll twist the twist, and then I'll take 1/2 of that section of that twist and I'll detangle from the root. Now, like I said before, everyone has their definition of dry finger detangling. My definition is just no water. But this does not mean that I do not use any oils or butter. And the oils that I use are coconut oil, rosemary oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, and castor oil. And I'll put it in a little container like this, mix it all around. And this is what I use to put oils on my hair. This is what I use when I detangle my hair. And whenever you want to detangle your hair, you're doing dry detangling, you want to saturate that hair with oil. I would never go through this hair without putting some type of oil or butter on it before I'm trying to dry detangle, because that would just be asking for some straight up breakage and more headaches than I need. So what I'll do is I'll pour this into my hand, and what I'll do is I'll saturate that. I'll saturate this one twist, really concentrating on the rooted area, and then I'll also saturate the ends, because the ends are the oldest part of your hair, so you always want to make sure that these have more attention. And then the reason why I also saturate my roots too is because I notice when I have my hair in a protective style, the rooted area is the new growth. So most of the times when I'm having it in an updo style, the rooted area is not in any type of, it's not going to be in a loose strand twist, because as the new growth grows, it's not going to automatically twist itself into that twist. So it's almost free form at the root. And then the rest of the hair is in, you know, your twisted or braided style. So a lot of times I'll focus really at the root, because that's where I tangle, you know, that's where you sweat, your moisture is really contained up in the rooted area of your hair. And then, like I said again, I'll concentrate on the ends because they are the oldest. So I'll really saturate, you know, the rooted area, the tips, and I also put the oil on the rest of the strand as well. So you want to make sure that piece of those, you know, hair, that section that you're about to detangle is just all nice and lubed up. Got a little soul glow going on. That is fine. That is what you want. It's going to make it easier for you to dry finger detangle. So I'll take half of that twist, I'll put this up, and I'll start the root. Now this is a big no-no if you are using a comb through your hair. If you're using a comb through your hair, you do not want to start at the root, you want to start at the tip. But since I'm dry finger detangling, I find it's easier to start at the root of that section than the end, because I feel like if I'm detangling at the end, a lot of times I'm just moving that detangled part up towards the rooted area of that hair section, and that can just make it even more complicated to get those tangles out of your hair. Because a lot of times I find this section of hair is almost protected being in the updo style, because I do not manipulate my hair during the weeks that I have it in the updo style. So a lot of times this hair will be this part of the section will be very easy to detangle because I'm not manipulating. And like I said, the rooted areas where you sweat, the most moisture, so it gets the most tangled. So I'll start at the root, and what I'll do is I'll separate the hair. I'll separate it like a piece, like you're tearing something apart. Like you're tearing something apart, but you do it very gently. So that's what I'll do for that. I'll start at the root, and I'll just do that all the way down. Now, like I said, it's going quite easy because I just detangled my hair a week ago. So also too, I just came across a little resistance. So when you come across a little resistance and your hair is not pulling out freely, or pull out freely, but let's say you get to a part and it's resisting. You don't want to pull it, you don't want to tear it. You want to go as close to the base of that problem, close to the base as possible. So if you're feeling tension here, you don't want to go up here and then pull your hair apart. You want to work as close to the problem as possible. Just gently work at that section. You know, and sometimes if you need to pull your hair out to get some of it out of that knotted area, you can do that. But again, like I said, you want to work as close to the base as possible. So that's what I'll do. So I'll work my hair all the way down, separating it like I'm tearing something. You're not literally tearing your hair, just an expression, just pulling it apart. Pulling it apart. Ooh. Yeah, if only my hair could go this easy all the time. So see, I'm coming to knots a week later, and I'm still coming to knots. So just imagine 3 weeks later. So, okay, so what you want to do, we finished pulling the hair apart. So it's going to look like this. So then after you finish pulling, what I'll do is I'll go vertically down. So what I'll do is I'll take my thumb, I'll just go vertically down the section, making sure that I have all the knotted areas, all the tangled areas out. And what I'll do is I'll keep going down that section vertically. And what you want to do is you don't want to rake your thumb through that section of hair hard. You want to do it slowly. Because if you come to any resistance, you're going to need to gently work at that section. So you just rake your hair, and you can do it thumb to thumb, or you can use any finger. And just work your hair vertically until you don't feel any type of tangles going vertically down. So then once after I finish going down it vertically, then I will go through that strand horizontally. So I'll put my hair through, so instead of going down, I'll go across. I'll go across that section. And I do it at the root area, and I'll work my way down vertically again. So again, I'll go horizontally at the root and then work my way down gently. I mean, some people have a different definition of gentle. This is what I do for my whole head. I have extremely fine hair, and this is what it takes to get it to this length. Now, everyone's hair is different. I'm not saying that, you know, someone might have more coarse strands. Someone might have, you know, your porosity levels. It depends on that. But I have very fine hair, very fine hair. So I want to be as gentle as possible when I'm detangling. So I don't want to get mad, you know, because I'm doing it so gentle, and this is what it takes. It takes work. So I'm not going to lie to you and say I could do this in, you know, under 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours would be a dream for me to detangle all this hair. So I'm just setting my shedded hair over here. So after you do that, after you break through your hair vertically, then horizontally. And that honestly is my process of finger detangling. Also, too, the reason why I do dry finger detangling, I know wet detangling works for a lot of people, but I do dry finger detangling because, as I said before, my hair is extremely fine. So when your hair absorbs water, again, that is just creating more tension to that strand, because as your hair absorbs the water, at every curling point along the strand is a potential point of breakage. So all the water that your hair is absorbing along that strand is tension on each and every potential point of breakage along that strand. So what's happening is that your hair is much weaker than it is if it's in its dry state. But as again I said, wet detangling works better for some other people because their strands might be thicker, they might have a looser curl pattern. It could be a multitude of things that make it easier for them. But again, as I said, I have kinky textured, very fine, extremely dense hair, so dry detangling works best for me. And that's what I do. So after I finish going through my hair, I'll look for the ends, for split ends. I'll usually clip those off. But it's as simple as that. The main ingredient for this is patience. Patience. I cannot say enough patience. So again, like I said, I'm going to go into another video where I do my complete kind of show and tell of how I do my whole dry finger detangling process for my whole entire head. So you can see it'll probably have to be broken down to 2 parts, but that's okay. We'll get it done for you guys. And also too, if you can't wait for that video of my whole entire process, you can come to our site, urbanbushbabes.com, and you can just write in the search engine on top of the site. You'll see a search and you can just write in finger detangling. It's my 10-step process part 1. So you can just type that in. And then also too, I have a part 2 where it's the tips, the pros, the cons of finger detangling. So again, you can just type in those 2 headings and my articles will pop up and you can see everything in long, lengthy detail. But again, like I said, we'll be doing videos on that as well. So that's it. Let me start running my mouth. But anyway, I hope this helps. Some people were asking, how do I do dry finger detangling? And we'll see you soon. Please stop by our site. Visit us on Facebook.com, Twitter. Email us if you have any questions. And thank you, everyone. Peace.